let's get started. So we're going to take a look at the reading quizzes that we administered to our Step 6 kids last week. So what we're looking for here, well, number one, we're looking for like 6 out of the 8 questions on comp to score correctly, with the biggest bottom lines being like character opinion, character feelings. We're also looking for 55 words per minute, and then 93% accuracy on a level I text. Like if we're thinking like Robinson Pinnell, I think level I is the band that we want. So it's hard with this one to really have like an exemplar. So let's think about like, if we're like thinking about like Margot, that text that we spent a lot of time talking about on Data Day, what do we need kids to be able to do in order to read that text correctly, to get to 55 and to get to 93% accuracy?
I still need them to read the entire word.
Yeah.
I'm still struggling with getting them to stop guessing.
Yeah.
Once they see either the first blend or just the first letter.
Yeah. So like one of the skills is like, number one, like being able to read through the whole word. Yeah. What are some like thinking about like features of words or like chunks that kids need to be able to know?
IGS.
Yeah, IGS is the big one.
Yeah.
And vowel teams is the other really big one.
Vowel teams, yeah.
Sneaky E is the big one for Step 5, and then vowel teams is the big one for Step 6. Anything else?
We're talking about the actual like text.
Yeah, thinking about the exemplars text. What?
You're talking about like comprehension?
Well,
Not right now,
thinking
just
more about like accuracy and rate, because honestly, like, and you'll see this when we look through the like actual student work, like kids actually did really well in the comp section. Maybe because this is a text that they like can relate to, because a lot of them have little brothers and little sisters. But like comp like looked pretty strong for the most part. But thinking about like that the actual like Margot text, like what are some other like text features thinking more of?
Do you have it?
We can look at it really fast.
Romeo? Jesus.
I need like my little document camera. Oh snap, where's Margot? Guys, I'm pretty sure somebody has stolen our Margot book.
Where's the name of Margot?
Nope, there it is. All right.
Margot.
All right. So, some things that I think about with this one too is like just like a continuing thing is like even in Step 5, there's a lot of things that they can look at the picture to get, but this one like you really just can't you can't get a lot out of the picture. You can get some support for character feelings out of the picture, but like as far as like decoding, like you can't really get anything out of the picture. And then the other thing that comes up in this one that they haven't really seen before is like they're starting to have to decode like compound words, so like shoelaces.
Yeah.
They don't really have to know how to like spell compound words or anything like that, but like just like the words get longer, the words get more complex.
Breaking apart.
Yeah, it's like chunking those words like. Anything else that's coming out to you as we like flip through this, as we take a picture walk through Margot?
I think I don't think they read the end of it. Like when we give them the silent read, I think because I know one kid, oh my God, you can't do that. That means you read faster than me. So I'm just like,
I think vowel teams are a big one still in that one. And word endings.
Yeah, I would think this is a big one too.
Yeah, word endings.
And really when we're looking at like the spelling and like the phonics and like vowel teams is like the biggest chunk for them. There's some like R controlled vowels in here too, but vowel teams is a really
Sneaky E. They know it, but I don't think they really know when to use it. Or
yeah,
like
I think they know it when you quiz them.
Right.
Like when we do the flashcards, they all know it. But when they see it in the text,
they don't know to make it say
And
its name.
does that
There's
sound
a few
right?
of our
Well, no.
kids.
Then what could it be?
Yeah.
And they don't think to change the
right.
Good sound.
the letter
There's-
sound.
I always
There's
ask
quite a
them
few
like, what
of
other
our
sound
kids
is that? What other sound does I make? And
Yeah.
that's what I always.
This week I tried, instead of just like doing the whole sneaky E word, I tried doing like the 3-letter sound. So like Ike, aid, and like making them realize those sounds instead of like trying to switch it. And I'll have them switch it too, but like, I think just having those 3 letters and having them recognize that might help. But
I think this is your only one.
Did you have Shazara's? Because I couldn't find her.
I think Jazara's is
Hers wasn't complete, but I have Darion and Malia's in my classroom.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's take a look through and start pulling out like what we see.
She's on.
Let's start looking through and let's take a few minutes to do this just like silent and solo. And then let's say like 2 minutes. A little bit longer than that. Let's say like 3 or 4 minutes. We can come back and talk about what we're seeing. I have some notes on there already.
So you say these are the ones that did?
These are the ones that did not pass.
Or the ones you're giving back are the ones that did not
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah. Thinking about what are you seeing with kids? Like, what are like the trends?
I'm guessing.
Busy. Didn't know none of them are busy, right?
Yeah, that's a hard one because we don't teach.
Every
Third
single
Mr.
number
Rosen,
is
Mr.
huge.
Harris, please call the front desk. Thank you.
Yeah, the U. Like,
Busy.
Yeah,
they wanna say
is
buzzy.
really tricky.
Yeah, every single one of these
Yeah.
didn't get the word huge.
Well, and huge is hard too because it's
They're
like
hungry
it has
Always
like long U, and then it has that, that
Ju-
soft,
Yeah.
that
The
soft
majority of my
G
kids
too.
caught it. The moment they said hug cookie, huge cookie,
Yeah.
they caught it. So
We have a
this
lot
one's
of kids that are
corrected,
really
yeah.
struggling with sneaky eat. Like, that's why like the couple days that I was teaching in here, I did like a quick oral drill with them on sneaky eat again because there's like Deja and Halo too like did not.
Halo is this.
Take a look too at like speed. So see what are they DNAing because of rate? Are they DNAing because of comp? Are they DNAing because of speed?
So what
So
should
what
it be?
should this
Should be like I think it's like 255 is the cutoff. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. All of them did. We missed about 2 seconds.
yeah, Sanaya just needs to read faster because she would have passed if she had her speed up.
Yep. Who?
10
Yeah,
20
so
seconds.
knows, yeah.
S?
Journey.
Journey was super close. Her speed is okay.
Yeah, she's like the only one of ours that passed because of
She's
rate.
really, really close. She didn't get a lot of things wrong on the end. Maybe hers is
Hers is comp.
calm. Is it?
Yeah, and that's why she DNA'd at the last interim cycle too. Her comp's a lot stronger than
Because
it
she
was.
sounds good when she reads, and she reads pretty fluently, especially
I think
for a first grader.
she
but-
gets really unconfident. I think when it comes to the questions because her comp is a lot stronger there than it was on the interim, but she'll look up the book for like a really long time. All right, well let's like share out like what's like what are the big trends that we're seeing, and there's like should be like one big poster board size trend that we're all seeing.
Guessing like all these words are the first letter is
Okay.
the same, but
So-
they're just guessing a different
Mhm.
different word. They're not reading the whole word.
So using like a toolbox, like a reading toolbox strategy, what's like the biggest thing that we saw is holding kids back from passing?
Speed.
So it's still rate, which if you remember back was like also the biggest thing at the interim time that's holding kids back. I know for our kids that DNA'd because of rate, like Halo and Deja, like and Edward too, like it's sounding out too many words and it's taking too long to sound out words.
Yes.
words that they know.
Yes.
Yeah, and like the same thing for like Jacoby and Kalia. What about in our other classrooms? Like what are we seeing that's slowing kids down?
They're waiting for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
With Antonio, he actually woke up.
And
he
it's
was
like a real
really
thing
like,
to
it's
talk about.
just like, Antonio, you are being timed. So, but with everybody else, like, Dylan actually did pretty good because he reads very slow. And like, hey, sit down and I'll tell you. You know, and I'm just like, speed up. And I had to tell him to speed up a couple times throughout the
So for him, it's just
story,
like he just talks too slow
yeah, like he talks slow.
because he's
so.
not missing very many words.
Not at all, and it's just, but I think what must, because he just skipped those, and I think that used to hold him up, you know, just trying to sound it out, and that's probably why he, you know, he read faster, but
Mhm.
that holds him up, and I guess Miss Buchanan probably told him, if you don't know the word, just go, because he would sit there like all day and just try to guess it. And some kids don't like to be wrong, so they'll sit there until they feel like they do.
That's my biggest thing. I like not with this, and I just read slow. Like she doesn't have a problem with. She just reads slow, and she's sometimes not out words she doesn't need to. But they also sit there and wait for me to tell them. That's my biggest issue. I'm not going to tell you. You are going to try and figure it out. So they'll sit there and they won't say anything. They won't even try and sound it out, and I'll sit there with them. Not necessarily this, but in guided reading, I sit there with them. Who's about to get put up? That's why.
Everybody, like, what just happened? Everybody's going up.
And
and
I'll make
I was like,
them
where's
sound it
Margot?
out. So they're still relying on someone to just give them the word in my classroom instead of pushing through it. Like tonight, dressing instead of dessert, you should have been able to catch that because it's not a DR in the beginning. So it should have just been.
And like saying to yourself, like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then monkey mouse shaped pancakes.
Right, you know it's Mickey.
So it's
Because a lot of kids didn't know it until they seen Mouse, and then they went back and said Mickey Mouse, or
That's
knew it was
how I
Mickey.
feel like a lot
One of our
of
kids
kids
said
were-
Michael Mouse, which I thought was hilarious and off topic. Sorry. All right. I was like, oh, Michael Mouse.
You know?
So formal.
This is Nikki's
But
brother.
I got Disneyland, so
All right. What about your one baby? Alexia?
Everybody got Disneyland. I wouldn't think.
I mean, because they used to see in Disneyland.
Yeah,
It's like how every kid knows how to read McDonald's, yeah.
Even my baby.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing just like you guys, they're just like struggling. I mean, not struggling, just reading slow, like sounding words out, and just taking too long to read, like checking for like, is that right? Making sure
I was shocked that everyone got diapers.
Yeah. But I would say, like, if you have a little baby at home, that's probably when you
The
see
moment
it.
they got stinky,
Stinky.
they wall them in diapers. Yeah.
Do you want them to be like for sure following along with their finger? Because I feel like a lot of them get lost sometimes and they'll skip a
So,
line and like.
Really at step 6, like, we want to try to start pushing them away from that because, like, silent reading, like, should just be eyes.
Yeah.
I there are some kids that I think do need to do it.
Yeah.
Because they get confused. I would say, like, I would think of that as like
slows
a
some people down.
Yeah.
And I think like it helps with like
Right, and
looking
for-
at the neck for the next word.
and for that thing too, like when you read with your finger, like you do tend to read slower.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, for most kids, like, they should be starting to read without a finger, but like if you're noticing some kids need it, like, have them do it. But it's not like something I would want all kids to do. Okay, so we've spent some time thinking about like what kids, like what the struggle is with kids. I think, like I said, I think for a lot of our kids, like some of it is like they're not really on the levels that they say that they're on.
Like Edward is like, it's not like he's sounding out the words, but he's guessing words that are close.
Yeah.
Like instead of note in OTE, he said night. So like they have a lot of the same letters. It's
Yeah.
just he's not really sounding it out.
Yep.
He's just looking at letters and trying a word.
And he's a really hesitant decoder too. Like it
Yeah.
takes him a really long time
I
to
was
sound
gonna
out
say
words
that
too.
about in phonics, like he's not good with decoding phonics.
Yeah.
I'm cracking up because Halo, instead of Jeff, she said Jeffrey.
Was she the one that said Michael Mouse?
No, Jeffrey.
You know, Halo's very.
Halo
she
is-
don't want to call me
Halo lives her life in like the freaking Paris opera, so that Leap movie was like made for her. All right, we have about 10 minutes left, so let's take about 4 or 5 of that, and let's just brainstorm like what are some things that we can do with kids to address this, like in guided reading and out of guided reading, because I think it's more kids past, like, because if you remember back to the interim, like almost every single kid on this level like D&E because of rape. So we have more kids that are moving and reading faster, but we do actually have like a lot of